Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm Luigi here. We are back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Mario Kart Wii for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we did explore through Banana Cup, despite the fact that we only lost one race in LC Forms of Strike Guy Beach due to how the fact that the cannonball shot always catches off guard, injuring the likes at the very end of this little trick ramp. And today for this episode, folks, is the fact that we're going to be moving on to the Leaf Cup now. So, yeah, I'm presuming that we're actually on the halfway point of the Retro Cups department, if I recall. And at the same time, we're actually on ourselves into, let's just say 75% complete from the likes of these every other cups in this game has to offer. So even then, though, that, well, let's get this one started then, shall we? So, it's pretty obvious how the fact that we only got about, let's just say 2 more weeks left until the Mario Party, the Top 100 for the 3DS is about to be released. At least in our countries though anyway. And at the same time that we got ourselves, how much days we got left in Christmas time? 17 days left to be more specific. And even Star Wars The Last Jedi, we got about 6 more days left until that film's about to be released in our country, as a matter of fact. So, for this episode right here is the fact that we're going to be using, as you can clearly see on screen, we're going to be using Diddy Kong next. And for this reason, we're going to be using our Metro cycle. So even then though, that's how we might as well do that. So, obviously we're going to be moving on to the Leaf Cup now, and this could be ranging from DS, you know, Desert Hills, and GBA Bowser Castle 3, and 64 DK's Jungle Parkway, and finally Nintendo GameCube Mario Circuit. So, yeah, sorry for lack of dialogue for this point, folks, and especially noticeable how our commentary is a little bit too awful at this point today, is because, well, not much to speak of when it comes to news-related stuff. Besides, you know, yesterday we've already mentioned about the 30th anniversary of the Mega Man series. Like, I was so excited for, you know, Mega Man 11 to be announced. But of course I'm going to be getting the PlayStation 4 version of Mega Man 4, Mega Man 11 as a matter of fact, because obviously 2D platforming is very good when it comes to, you know, the PlayStation series as a matter of fact, because in 2-dimensional platforming games as a result, that's very good with the PlayStation controllers, because even then though that the D-pad was actually on, you know, whenever you use your thumb to actually just to place in with the D-pad itself, which is actually really good. So, yeah. So, one thing I have to mention about this at this point is that, I don't know if you noticed, but, for some reason, every time when we, you know, we already mentioned about this during yesterday's video, there's a bit of a, we do apologize for a lack of delay for our uploads from during the likes of yesterday's video. Because of this, you know we already mentioned about that, we actually did manage to get ourselves our briefly updated program of our Roxo Game Capture HD Pro or something like that. When it comes to not only the actual, capture, menus and all that stuff, but also the Roxo, video wave at this point. But, I'm going to have to admit though right away is that my computer, especially in our laptop's case, it always kind of feels a bit too much laggy slowdown at the moment, because as a result, every time when we're trying to upload something, or even especially noticeable when we're trying to able to actually get ourselves our time schedule when it comes to uploading stuff like this, sometimes it always tends to get my laptop really lagging at points, which even though that's not that pleasant to look at. Yeah, especially noticeable how the fact that you gotta be joking me, we're gonna get owned by this so much more easily, and we get, oh Jesus Christ, man. So anyway, though, that's enough for now. So even then, though, that as you can see on screen, that we're actually on to the first course in the Leaf Cup, as far as I might add. And that was the forms of the DS course from Mario Kart DS, which is the forms of the Desert Hills, which I believe that track originated, as I mentioned earlier, from Mario Kart DS, and specifically originated it was from Flower Cup on the first course on that cup. So even that I was worth mentioning for that part. No, I didn't meant to aim the red shell from behind. I meant to aim for Baby Mario, because I just want to get into first place, god dang it. But oh well, at least we got owned by the Bullet Bill after winning the race. Huh. Never really thought of this little particular strange moments, doesn't it? Well, at least compared to, you know, Yoshi Falls track, the one time that Bodo managed to waste her time in the, specifically on her first lap. Oh jeez, I still remember that, but yeah, that's kind of hilarious. Next course we have is GBA Bowser Castle 3. So, I can assume this is originated from Mario Kart Super Circuit, if I could recall it that, which is true. But I could imagine about, it was originated from the Star Cup, I might add. But even then, I might actually have to research on those particular stuff, because between Mario Kart Super Circuit, especially Super Mario Kart, it has been a really long time since I actually played those games, because of this. At this point, we're so used to with the future Mario Kart games, particularly Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Double Dash, and etc. That because of this though, it has been a really long time since I actually played these games. Yeah, it's actually Star Cup, you might be right though, Luigi, because, well, Lightning Cup doesn't have a Bowser course to begin with, because all it gets in that Lightning Cup on Super Circuit game, it contains Luigi Circuit, Sky Garden, which are both makes a comeback in Mario Kart DS, and Cheep Cheep Island, and Sunset Wilds, which, I'm gonna be honest, I have to admit though right away, I really wish if Sunset Wilds makes a return though, I had to admit though right away. Same applies to Riverside Park or something like that, or Boo Lake, or even Cheep Cheep Island, or Snowland, Yoshi Desert, or Broken Pier, or even Lakeside Park, or Bowser Castle 4, or even a GBA rendition of Rainbow Road. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I freaking hate the GBA version of Rainbow Road, because there's so many ways you can fall in that particular location, unlike in any other Rainbow Roads in every Mario Kart game ever. But yeah, I think that's what you're trying to explain about this, Luigi. Yeah, which I understand for this sort of situation. So, yeah, in regards to anything else new about it, well, besides I recently realized about the fact that there's actually a brand new amiibo that did actually came out during the United States of America, and that was in form of the Super Mario cereal, which originally was supposed to be fake, but it turns out it was real, because even then though, that I've looked up in the actual, take that, Baby Peach. Anyway though, so when we looked up on our amiibo functionality, specifically it only works in Super Mario Odyssey. I really don't know about the other games throughout, but specifically for the likes of Super Mario Odyssey is the most likely one, because, well, it's pretty obvious about the fact that Super Mario Odyssey is definitely the game of the year this year, so even then though that, well, that's how it usually happens. So, yeah, for what the amiibo functionality can do with the cereal box in Super Mario Odyssey, it works kind of like the exact same thing as from any other amiibos in Super Mario Odyssey actually has to offer, like, you know, you're still able to actually get yourselves a, well, if you manage to use the amiibo functionality, you can get 10 coins to your, currency account, and also, if you manage to talk to, the Uncle Amiibo, yeah, that's what it said, if you scan that, then you would able to actually just, hear, not only because of how the fact that it helps you to able to find the next Power Moon and process, but also it actually says a different quote, like saying, that's a delicious amiibo, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So, yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Kind of a cool differences between these other amiibo functions, as far as I might add in. But, nothing groundbreaking or anything, but even then, it's a nice touch. So anyways, next course we have is the N64 DK's Jungle Parkway, which that track makes a return ever since Mario Kart 64. That was originally in Mario Kart 64, and I believe that was originated from the Special Cup on the first stage, or in this case the first track of the game. Well, at least specifically the first track in Special Cup in Mario Kart 64, as a matter of fact. I believe there are some noticeable differences here and there, or I haven't mentioned about the during the likes of Bowser Castle 3 as a matter of fact, although I've noticed a difference on Bowser Castle 3 in the Wii version on that track compared to the original counterparts. It's obviously in 3D, much like in Super Nintendo tracks when they did manage to remade it during the future installments. But I don't usually say about that right there. And I've noticed there are some slight differences in the likes of between the Wii rendition of DK's Jungle Parkway as opposed to the original counterpart, is that these coconuts were originally supposed to be in the N64 version, but it's been removed on the Wii version. This is probably due to how the fact that they're trying to make this course a hell of a lot more easier. compared to the original counterpart, if I might add, although I may be wrong about that. But that's just how it is for me. Or for us, though, I should say. Because, yeah, of all the Mario Kart games on this these particular franchise goes, almost every single Mario Kart 64 tracks all made its all originally returning for these every single franchises to offer. Well, as I mentioned earlier, well, we've already mentioned about this dozens or so times during the likes of the Mario Kart Let's Plays. The only cause exception is actually forms of Wario Stadium, at least in Mario Kart 64 version, because first of all, they were originally trying to do that in Mario Kart 8, but it was just on the DS version instead for Wario Stadium itself. Plus, I really love how the fact that, plus, as a matter of fact though, for DK's Jungle Parkway, this is definitely one of my favorite tracks in Mario Kart 64. At least I'm glad that track makes a return on that particular game. So even then though, that's actually pretty worthwhile. So, because of this though, I remember that long time ago, Luigi, even if you did not know already, that I sort of, for whatever reason, when I was a kid, I always attempt to mess around on this stage because even then though, that because I was always trying to react to the actual boat itself, that boat is actually very impressive when I looked at it. Because even then though, I kind of wish it actually has an obstacle throughout, but even then though, that is actually a nice little detail when this particular boat is running for this little stream, or in this case a steam, or stream, or even whatever, into the river itself, or something like that. But anyway though, oh god, hey, at least we got there in the end, thanks to that blue shell was almost gonna own us at the very end, but hey, at least we got there in the end, and hopefully a domination as well, so yeah, but even then though, except for, you know, Shy Guy Beach, because Shy Guy Beach, I have to admit though right away, I did not like that version of that course, I had to admit though right away, because cannonballs were getting my way. Plus, some of these shortcuts might help you out a bit, but ultimately you slow down for a bit. But that's just all I can think of. Okay, so last course we have in during the likes of Mario Kart Wii Leaf Cup, and now see forms of Mario's sorry for a little bit of a tangent, tongue twisting there folks. Welcome to Mario Circuit, Mario Kart Double Dash rendition on that course. And for the looks of it though, it's pretty much exactly the similar course layout as it does it from the original counterpart. So, nothing else different about it besides, you know, it's on the Nintendo Wii, and plus, you know, singular carts or vehicles that, for the most part, it's pretty much identical to the likes of the original counterpart, so besides, you know, bumpy hills, they can now perform tricks and stuff like that, and also this little, curved bridge here and there too, don't forget, so yeah, and once again, much like in Mario Kart Double Dash, if you accidentally go onto the far left or the far right of this bridge, if you manage to get off the bridge though, on the other hand, then you will get knocked over by the piranha plants so easily, so you just need to watch out for that. Especially when these two piranha plants is involved, so yeah, that's what I can gather. So yeah, I'm actually quite surprised of how the fact that, you know, the really can't wait until not only Mega Man 11 on the PlayStation 4, but I'm really also looking forward to the Mega Man X collection coming on the PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch or the Xbox One version. I'm probably going to pick up the PlayStation 4 version as far as the download version of Mega Man X collection because obviously trophy system and all that. While you can get something out of on the Nintendo Switch version, which is in forms of the My Nintendo Golden coins and all that stuff, but ultimately, though, I always attempt to go for the PlayStation 4 version due to its, well, 2D platforming is really good for controller, and especially noticeable for the likes of, well, the achievement system or the trophy system as a result for my part, so, yeah. So yeah, that's all I can really say about this particular video for this point, folks, because, you know, there's not much anything news-relatable stuff at the moment, besides, you know, we're almost there until Christmas at one point, because today was actually forms of the 8th of December, so, but even then, though, again, we really do apologize for the lack of uploads again, just like yesterday, but even then, though, we're able to actually finish this Let's Play at least until whenever before Christmas is about to come, so, or even in addition to the 2018 is almost going to be coming by, but that's all I can actually just try to say about this point. So anyway, award ceremony time for the Leaf Cup. So even though third place position goes to Baby Peach, second place goes to Baby Mario, and the first place position goes to Diddy Kong. I kinda wish we could actually play as Funky Kong eventually, but it doesn't really matter too much, to be honest with you guys, because we're pretty much almost running out of ideas to able to actually just, you know, go through everything and what have you. So, yeah, let's see what rank we get, because even then, in the Leaf Cup run-through on our recording session, that we only got 1 star rank on that part. Oh yes, we got ourselves our 3 awesome star rankings, enjoying the likes of this cup in particular. I think because of that though, Luigi, we pretty much dominated on that cup again, but I digress. So to us next time on Let's Play Mario Kart, waste the fact that we're going to be moving on to the Lightning Cup. So see you guys then. Later fellas. See you guys then.